Mister, put down that gun. Shut up. Now, come on. Your money or your life.
In this video, I will explain disjunctive syllogism. I'll talk about what the rule is from a formal perspective. I'll talk about how it can be used in English, and I'll work through a couple examples. Let's look at the form of disjunctive syllogism. Disjunctive syllogism states that if you have a disjunction, in this case phi or psi, where phi and psi are both variables for any well-formed formula, and you have the negation of psi, that is the negation of one of the disjuncts, then you can reason to phi, which would be the other disjunct here. Alternatively, we could say that if you had phi or psi, and then the negation phi, then you could reason to the other disjunct, in which case it's psi. Let's look at an example in a natural deduction proof. Here we have a disjunction at line 1, the negation of one of the disjuncts at line 2. Notice that at line 1 we have r as one of the disjuncts, and at line 2 we have the literal negation, not r. And disjunctive syllogism allows us to reason to p right here, which is the left disjunct. So we're reasoning from P or R, not R, to P. If we're asked to justify this, we simply state the lines of the formulas we used, in which case this was 1 and 2, as well as the rule, which is disjunctive syllogism. Let's look at an English example of disjunctive syllogism being used. So suppose we had the proposition, there is cake at the party, or there is ice cream at the party. We'll abbreviate this as simply saying there is cake or ice cream. If we were to represent this in propositional logic, we'd write C or I. Premise 2 says it is not the case that there is ice cream at the party. So we have not I here. And so notice that we have a disjunction at line 1, and at line 2, we have the negation of the right disjunct. This allows us to reason to there is cake at the party, which is the left disjunct, C. Let's look at this last example in a little bit more detail. Let's start with premise 1. There is cake or ice cream. Now, if this is true, then it's true in one of three cases. Either there is cake, there is ice cream, or there is both cake and ice cream. So premise 1 is true provided one of these three cases is the case. But now let's look at premise 2 here. It says that it is not the case that there is ice cream. So what does this do to our three cases up here? Well, it removes the second case because it's saying that there's no ice cream. And it also removes this third case right here. This first premise is true provided there's cake, there's ice cream, or there's both cake and ice cream. Now this third case cannot be true because it's not the case that there is both cake and ice cream because there is not ice cream. And so this leaves us with only one option, and that option is that there is cake. Let's look at another formal example. In this example, we have a disjunction again. We have P or not M then T. And at line 2, we have the negation of this right disjunct. We have the negation of not M right arrow T. We have it in the form of not M right arrow T. And since disjunctive syllogism states that if you have a disjunction, the negation of one of the disjuncts, then you can reason to the other disjunct, we can derive P at line 3 using disjunctive syllogism in lines 1 and 2. A final example involves robbery. I might come up to you and say the following.
Now, come on. Your money or your life.
Intuitively, you would reason, well, I don't want to give you my life, so here's my wallet, here's my money. This type of reasoning has the structure of disjunctive syllogism. So hopefully this video was helpful. I'll put links in the description below that refer to other videos that deal with derivation rules in propositional logic.